Hi, I'm Sophia. Today I'm going to show you a few different things you can do with the gel press kit from ArtStashAU. This kit includes the gel press, the blending paper, the brayer, and some paints. Now I'm going to put down some black paint. Any acrylic paint works. I'm using the Amsterdam acrylics from Royal Talons. So put some paint down, spread it all around, get a nice even coat, and then you're going to put your paper down. Make sure you've got a really good contact and leave it sit for about 20 seconds. So once it's sat, peel the paper back and you can see there you've got a nice covering. And again, just using up the excess paint really that's on the board. Now I'm going to start putting down some colours, some blues, some greens, dark green, light green, yellow. Basically a whole range of colours. I'm going to use the brayer, I'm going to spread it all around. Now I'm going to be showing you a few different ways to do cactus. So first of all, we're just starting with a light covering of paint. Again, spreading it nice and even, letting it sit there for a few seconds, and then we're going to peel it off. And see, spreading it out again, just slightly changing it. Now I'm going to use a cutout, so basically I've just used my craft knife to cut out this cactus shape. So I'm going to put that down as like a stencil, and then I'm going to put the previously black painted paper down. Smush it down really good, make sure you've got really good contact. Yep. Definitely got good contact. All right, now sit it there. Again, waiting a little while and then lifting it up. I went to do it and then I decided that it was too soon. A few more seconds. Patience is a virtue. And you can see there we've got the black background with the green cactus on top. Again, I'm just using up leftover paint that's on the brayer. That's on the gel press. Smudging it around really good. Water-based paint or acrylic paints are perfect, so you will make a bit of a mess, but don't be too concerned about that. You can see there that the paint is also stuck to that stencil. I'm not bothering cleaning it because I'm happy with those colours, and we'll keep using them as we move through. It's the black Van Gogh watercolour paper, just a different type of paper and a different style of activity. So using the stencil, again, I've put that down, just using the end of a paintbrush just to line it up. So I'm happy with it. And then taking that black paper, putting it down. This paper's a bit thicker than the other paper, so just making sure it's pushed down really well is super important. Getting really good coverage there. And after waiting, I'm just lifting that off, and you can see that the stencil again has left blank spots. Once again, covering the gel press. A little bit more colour, just another variation. Some light green and some dark green. Smudging, I'd put a little bit too much on, so just smudging a little bit around. I've got a bit of white added in there and a little bit of yellow, just to give nice variety of colour and depth to the cactuses. Using the brayer to spread it. The more you use the brayer, the better it spreads, obviously. So if you want a really defined look, don't use the brayer. If you're happy with the well-blended look, then use the brayer. Just transferring that colour onto a new piece of paper. Spreading it around. Make sure we've got really good coverage. I should have left it for longer, if I'm going to be perfectly honest, but that's okay. Spreading it around again, adding a little bit more blue. And if you weren't happy with the previous piece you'd blended, you could actually put that back down and pick up more colour onto it. Just make sure it's relatively dry first. And peeling off, you can see that piece is much better blended than the other one as well. So again, just putting down another piece of paper, I'm just using up the leftover paint. You can use those scraps if you like to do collage and other things. So I'm putting down some purple now. So I'm going to try a couple of different background techniques. Again, using the stencils from before. Sorry, I just bumped the camera. Using the stencils from before, but instead of having the outside of the cactus, I'm going to use the inside of the cactus this time. This will mean that the cactus green colour, which I've put down on that piece of paper, will stay there, and we're just creating the purple background by lining it up, smudging it down, spreading it around really well, and lifting it up. And you can see there that we've put the purpley black background on the cactus. Now I'm just going to add some more colour. Here I'm adding a yellow ochre. So yellow ochre and purple make a colour that I absolutely love. It's kind of a muted purpley yellow, nearly a little bit mud-like, but I really like the effect that those two colours have. So putting that stencil back down. And I just cut it out with a craft knife onto a thicker card. I did try paper originally, but it tore pretty easily. So try and use a slightly thicker cardstock. Putting it down, hoping I've lined it up. Ensuring I've got all the paper down, and I've just got some paint on the back of it, but that's okay. Once again, waiting and then picking it up. And just using that leftover paint again. You can see just picked up the last of that purpley coloured paint. And I'm just going to stick, now I've got the cactus shape there, I'm just going to stick a piece of paper down on that and we'll see what happens. This is all about experimenting. These are some different ways that I've enjoyed using the gel press and getting different textures. You really get that sort of Art Deco grungy feel, and certainly you could add more colours to it, more layers, and start to really develop the pieces. I'm just cleaning off the gel press there, and you'll see the different pieces that we made as we go through. There was the cactus on the black background. The stencils, so doing block out shapes and backgrounds, and then lastly the black background cut out. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed.